This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It's Tuesday, March 2nd. I'm Jeff here with my friends Stephanie and Brandon. A lot to get to, guys. Let's jump right in today. Taylor Swift is slamming Netflix over a joke about her. So here's the story. Taylor Swift wasn't impressed when the Netflix show Ginny and Georgia referenced her dating history. The show about a young mother and her teenage daughter included the line, "What do you care? You go through men faster than Taylor Swift." Ooh, Taylor took issue with the line and put the show on blast. She tweeted, quote, "Hey, Ginny and Georgia, 2010 called and it wants its lazy, deeply sexist joke back. How about we stop degrading hardworking women by defending these horse bleep as funny?" Where you at?
I want to go in on this one because
go in on it, buddy.
And I understand that it is a happy Women's History Month. Happy Women's History Month. So I can see why this can be a problem within women because they're saying that it's misogynistic and that they're tired and that you can be shaming and stuff like that. You know, saying
sex shaming. You could say sex shaming
to women. But two of the show writers are women. So how is it misogynistic? I think this is Taylor playing that victim role all over again. I've been the first one to come out and talk about how strong she is for trying to take down Scooter Braun and trying to take down the misogyny in radio and in music. I get that. But in this, you're mad because they say crack some sort of joke about your former dating life. She's been in a relationship, happily in a relationship for quite some time now. Mm-hmm. So you're not who you used to be, Taylor. So why is this still a problem? When Caitlyn Jenner, when they did the roast on Caitlyn Jenner, and they were saying all different things about Caitlyn Jenner, he didn't come out and say anything. He didn't come out, or she didn't come out and be offended off of that.
Well, she probably, Caitlyn meaning, signed up for that. So she knew what she was getting. Listen, man, I'm with you on this. I'm just taking the other side to keep the conversation going. As far as she said sexist, deeply sexist, do you think that's a deeply sexist comment in your eyes,
I think, unfortunately for Taylor Swift, she's been put on this
pedestal?
Well, she is on many people's pedestals, yes, but she's been labelled as this like man-eater, goes through so many men, when in real life, she just had a couple of different boyfriends. Before you settle down with someone, you do date. And if it's a man, if you're Leonardo DiCaprio, you're like the man, you're a boss because you're like dating all these young women. If you're Scott Disick and you've got a girlfriend that's like near the age of your kids, then your own age, you're cool. If you're Taylor Swift and you just happen to go on a few dates with a few guys, then you're the S word. You're putting it out there. And I think that's why she's upset, because she got labeled as that, and all she's doing is living a life which men would be glorified for. So it's not necessarily just the music industry, it's life in general. As a woman, if you have multiple partners, if you're just dating and seeing what you want, then people look down on you or say you're putting it out there. If you're a man, you're praised. That's what she's upset about. And the fact that there was two women that did write that, you brought to the writers were women. The two characters were women. They're like, why are you putting another woman down for doing what every single woman on the planet does?
But you mentioned Leonardo DiCaprio, and he gets stuff for saying, if the line was, hey, you date as many women as Leonardo does 20-year-old models, we wouldn't be talking about that, right? So because of someone's past and you make a joke about it, I don't know if it qualifies as deeply sexist. There are deeply sexist things out there.
Yes.
I don't know if this qualifies under that.
I think what she's referring to is the long history of women having to suffer at this, and as she's, bringing that to light. Because
so you're no longer allowed to make fun of a woman's past, no matter what it was.
I think
or question it, I should say. Not make fun of, but question it.
I think, well, the thing was, it wasn't questioned. They were making a joke out of it. And I think if it was a man, it would be like, he's a boss and he's a man. If it's a woman, then it's like, she's putting it out there.
That joke, I'm sorry.
No.
I think to each their own. I think, we broke it down.
But the joke wasn't sexist. They're just saying she's a serial dater. How's that? Is that sexist?
Listen, man, it's 2021. Don't ask me. My book is gone, and I don't know where it is. I don't know what the right answer is. Okay, speaking of stars standing up for themselves, Alec Baldwin recently snapped back at a fan on Instagram. Alec and his wife, Hilaria, recently announced the arrival of their sixth child, a daughter named Lucia. Hilaria gave birth to her son just over 5 months ago. So some fans were wondering how their daughter came to be. In the comment section of the actor's Instagram post, one person questioned whether the child was adopted or born via its surrogate, or even the product of an affair. The fan said if Alec and his wife don't want to say anything, they should stop posting about their family on social media, to which Alec responded, I don't know how he came up with this, shut the bleep up and mind your own business. Very Alec Baldwin-like. But is it not fair to ask that question? Could you ask this question in a way that's not rude, because it's an honest question, right?
I mean, it is a good question, because if you've given birth 5 months ago and then 5 months later there's another baby, scientifically it's physically impossible.
Throwing the affair in there is not the way to ask the question.
No, I think
isn't it a fair question to ask?
I think it's a fair question to ask, but I think also there's a level of, like, you know, like you said, respect, isn't there? So, I mean, out of all of us three, you're the only one with children on social media, and obviously a wife that you guys share your lives on social media, and you choose sometimes to take a back seat because of the people that come out and say horrible things.
Right.
So, like, how would you feel, or how would you want to be asked?
I mean, I am not even close to Alec Baldwin, right? Let's just preface
You're
that
better
first.
Looking.
Thank you. But here's the thing. If I did have this situation where I had another baby in 5 months, I would talk to my wife and be like, listen, we need to explain this because people are going to ask some questions, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe don't post it if we don't want to address these questions right away. That's just me. I mean, Alec Baldwin and his wife could handle it any way they want. I'm just telling you personally, I would be up for answering that question.
And they pull back the curtains on their relationship and on their family. She's come out and talked about in 2019 how she had 2 miscarriages. She's come out and in November she said she was content with 5 kids after the young man was born. So if you're going to do that, if you're going to give the goods and you're going to give us an in and look at your lifestyle and your family's lifestyle, when something doesn't match up, someone's going to ask a question. And I don't think the affair part was wrong, because you're sitting there trying to figure out how is it humanly possible for you to have a baby 5 months ago and have another one.
I would guess via surrogate, right?
Yeah,
if they
so
were having
via surrogate, yes.
I would guess it's via surrogate, right?
Yeah.
And that's just logically my answer. It might not even be the truth, right?
Yeah,
but that's what I came up with. But I mean, I don't understand the offense taken by asking that question. Again, I just talked about my book about the right answers. I don't have it. My book's gone.
I mean, the thing is, exactly like you said, we don't know what the situation is. We don't know how hard that family have maybe struggled, how she's suffered with maybe, and this is just me being presumptuous, maybe depression and sadness and a really awful time after 2 miscarriages. The fact that she may have needed to go and look out for a surrogate because of I've got friends that have had miscarriages and they've not been able to get out of the darkest of places until they've either been pregnant or adopted a child. So I can't even imagine what she's going through, even though she's already got lots of beautiful children.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think, you know, what is upsetting probably Alec is, like, we don't know what goes on behind those closed doors. We don't know how hard that's been for them and how they've struggled with that. So for people to then come out and start saying, you know, someone's been unfaithful and had an affair and now there's a child, I can understand how that has caused that reaction when they've had so much heartbreak probably to get this child, you know?
Well,
absolutely.
You know what? We can wait for the TV special when they're going to reveal all this, because you might as well cash in on it now.
I don't know if Alec Baldwin's doing that.
Yeah.
He might smash a TV camera. Coming up on DBL, a young model's emotional journey as she chooses to amputate not one, but both of her legs. It's an incredible story of perseverance. And speaking of rule books, is Dr. Seuss being canceled too? Why the PC police are after his classic children's books when we come back. Welcome back to DBL. Is Dr. Seuss being canceled? 6 of his books will no longer be published, including the titles If I Ran the Zoo, On Beyond Zebra, and Scrambled Eggs Super. That's according to Dr. Seuss's Enterprise, which pulled the books because of racist and insensitive imagery. Again, their own company pulled it. Here are some examples of the drawings that are being criticized, okay? In a statement, the company said these books portray people in ways that are hurtful and wrong. So Dr. Seuss, whose real name is Theodore Seuss Geisel, died in 1991. The author continues to be super popular for kids, earning an estimated $33 million last year alone. So the question is it okay to pull books like this that may contain racist or hurtful images, or is this part of a trend, censoring and cancel culture?
I don't, pulling them, no. Not so much pulling them, but just do what Disney did, and go ahead and let's throw disclaimers out and really show how hurtful it is. It's one thing just to put a disclaimer and be like, hey, some of these images are hurtful, but after seeing some of those go up on the screen, I can understand why Asian people would want that. Look at that. So you're telling me in 2021, where you're not saying you guys, where our neighborhoods our communities are so diverse with all these different cultures to learn from and people to be friends with, you telling me you still want that around? But that's why you're seeing a rise in representation. That's why you're seeing Matthew Cherry come out with The Hair Love. That's why you're seeing our own Al Jackson come out with his own children's book. I think Dr. Seuss's company is realizing, hey, these new books that are coming out are representing and showing representation with the customers that we're still trying to keep our $33 million in income per year with. So good on them for following the money in their sense.
I'll take the other side for you here, because it's just, how much do you give? I get that. I'm with you with the Disney thing. You need to put a disclaimer. These were back in the day when it was okay. It was probably in every newspaper, a drawing like that, which doesn't make it okay. At the time, it was okay. I understand. It's a little different, the own company wanting to pull their books as opposed to cancel culture going after them. So they're kind of just getting ahead of the curve. But it's like, where does it end? It's Mr. Potato Head one day. Now Dr. Seuss is being pulled. But you keep giving, you keep giving, you keep giving, you keep giving, till somebody comes after something that you want or you love. And I'm not saying that I'm defending these pictures by any means. I'm just saying, how far does this cancel culture go till somebody stands back up against it?
What if it's something that's super derogatory to you and your heritage, and now Leighton and Lawson, your sons are reading it?
And I'm not defending these pictures at all. I'm going
know.
against cancel culture.
For sure.
Take these books down. I'm with it. Get rid of these 6 books. Get rid of Mr. Potato Head. Chris Harrison defended a comment. He didn't say anything racial. He defended a comment. Get rid of them. When does it end? When does it end?
Good question.
That's what I'm just saying. We keep giving and giving and giving. How much before it's you, or before it's you, or before it's me?
In that book of answers you were talking about,
dude,
I've got nothing.
Not only did I lose, it's gone. It's way gone. All right, good combo. We'll be right back, guys. Welcome back to DBL. Have you ever taken a leap of faith? Well, runway model Lexi Bader has for a second time. Over the past 2 years, she's chosen to amputate both her legs with hopes of stopping chronic pain. We've been following her story, her amazing story, I should say, since the very beginning. Erica spoke with her to get the latest and reveal a very special surprise.
Lexi Bader is an expert at hiding her pain behind her smile. After all, she's been doing it for 8 years. Photo shoot after photo shoot, she keeps her secret from the world.
I lay in bed every single day. I usually cry every single day.
Lexi has a rare nerve disease that causes crippling pain in her feet. In 2019, she decides to take aggressive action, choosing to amputate her left leg below the knee.
I wasn't sad at all. I didn't miss it. I just looked down and I was like, yes, no more pain.
But then her disease spreads and the pain returns, forcing her to choose the same fate for her right leg.
I'm scared, and I've been going through like grief. I've been going through anxiety and depression and being scared, because as soon as I do this, everything in my life's gonna be completely different.
In January of this year, doctors amputated her remaining leg.
I moved from the bed to the chair today. Realizing that there's just no feet. I'll never touch sand on my feet again. No one will touch any of my feet again. There's no feet ever again.
Not only is Lexi battling the psychological side of her new reality, she is also fighting extreme pain.
I have so much pain, and it won't go away. I'll stand up and she'll ask me to put it down. Not even all the way down, and it just hurts so bad. I've just been not sleeping well. I don't know. It's just been really hard lately.
In spite of it all, Lexi keeps her smile and keeps pushing forward, taking one day at a time.
It's really hard, but I'm not gonna give up because I want to snowboard next season.
Lexi, welcome back to DBL.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad I'm here once again.
You are like light and grace under fire because it's been just a couple of weeks since your surgery. How are you doing today?
Today I'm actually doing really good, and since my surgery, I've been better than I thought I would be, to be honest.
You know, this isn't your first time obviously experiencing this. How has this surgery been different than your first amputation?
You know, I can't hop a lot of places. My back does get really like sore sitting in my chair a lot. I do go on my crutches, but my prosthetic side, my left side, isn't used to standing on it as long. So that's been kind of challenging. I've been using my wheelchair a lot. A lot of stuff like going to the bathroom and, you know, just doing things around the house or out in public, getting in a car, in and out of a car. That's a lot of stuff that has been different for me.
Well, you know, Lexi, we so love having you on because you are so transparent with your testimony. You have been an inspiration to so many people. And every time we speak to you, you come like fully yourself. But I know that there have been hard parts of this process. So overall, what has been the hardest thing for you?
I think the hardest, I mean, it started, you know, in the hospital. This time I wasn't allowed any visitors. And out of all of the surgeries I've had in my life, I've never woken up without my parent there or a friend. And this time was really difficult for me emotionally and physically because I didn't have anyone there for 3 weeks while I was in the hospital. And it hurt so bad. But yeah, that's what's happening this morning. But hopefully my day will get better.
Were there tips or tricks that you used for those weeks that you were in the hospital by yourself that might be of benefit to someone who's in the hospital right now?
Well, the one main thing is just definitely having a strong support system, and that could be family, that could be support groups, that could be virtual support groups, that could be talking with others, reaching out. And I know reaching out for help is something that all of us struggle with, but it's definitely something that you need to get through this, not alone. Definitely making friends with the nurses. I love the nurses. They're always super kind, always do my hair, makeup. And, you know, I had a really bad day one time and I was crying and this one nurse came in, she held my hand and she told me that she's here for me and that she'll never let go. And I was just crying in pain and she was just holding my hand. You know, I just needed that because if I was all alone and she wasn't there for me like that, then it would just suck.
I appreciate you sharing that story because I know that's going to resonate with so many others. You have officially become a DBL family member. We think so highly of you. We love you. But we aren't the only ones who want to share your story. So we do have a little surprise for you. We reached out to our friends at Cherry Creek Fashion, a fabulous magazine that focuses on storytelling with fashion, so it seems very much up your alley, and sharing the lives of inspiring people. And girl, they want to do a full spread on your story and put you on the cover of their summer issue.
Oh, look at my armpits, I'm scared. Oh my God. Thank you. That's amazing.
Lexi, I am so excited for you. I know the folks at Cherry Creek Fashion, you guys are going to have amazing synergy. I cannot wait to see this photo shoot, girl.
Oh, I don't even know what to say. I'm like blushing. I'm sweating.
It's amazing. And girl, Vogue. Okay. Love it.
What an amazing person. Lexi's story is far from over. To follow along on her journey, check out her Instagram, abader.com. You can also donate to her GoFundMe page. Oh, I'm sorry, abader.26. And you can also donate to her GoFundMe page. Just search Lexi Bader on GoFundMe.com. Great story. Follow her. We'll be right back. Welcome back to DBL. So, Steph, you had a hand in Lexi's photo shoot, huh?
Yeah, it was our amazing producer's idea, and I reached out to the magazine, and they are so excited to be shooting when working with her, and she's going to be incredible. I can't wait.
Good for you, Steph. We'll see you tomorrow.